and he might have just sent us on our way to the final of the Brazilian Cup. It's a lovely goal.
Oh, yeah!
Hello and welcome back to another episode as part of the Pacific Pursuit, and welcome back to São Paulo, where in today's episode we have got two games coming up. The first against ATG, who we play against in the second leg of our semi-final in the Brazilian Cup. A 1-1 draw in the away leg. We return for the home leg and to hopefully book ourselves a place in the Brazilian Cup final. And then after that, we have a game in the gap, and then away we go to Talleres, who obviously we've already played this season before. We played them in a game in the Copa final. If we're going to take a look there, 3-1 win away from home, and then a 2-2 draw at home. We demolished them, let's just say that, and got the win in the end in that competition. So we'll be playing against them today. Obviously they won the Copa Sudamericana to make that Copa final and then make it to this quarter final. The 8 teams remaining in the Copa Libertadores include ATG, Corinthians, River Plate, Flamengo, Talleres, São Paulo, Estudiantes and Fluminense, who are still there, and we are still on to defend our title. There's Marcus Vinicius, by the way, on 8 goals with Nacional, which is always nice to see. In terms of anything else that's gone on, really not much since last time out. If we go back down to the bottom, obviously we had our semi-final, and then that game we won the second leg against Cuiabá, and then we got through against Olympia, Paraguayan team, in a 5-0 aggregate win. We beat Santos, we beat Fluminense, we beat Bahia, and we are in a much better position than we were in the league. We still have lots of games in hand. I don't know when they're getting played, but they will be. It's a very congested fixture period still. I mean, look how many games we've had to play in recent months with all these different competitions. It's crazy, a crazy start to the season, and we are nowhere finished. We have a lot of work to do today. The only other major thing that's happened is a transfer. Gabriel da Silva has left us. He's gone over to Brighton. He had a release clause. It's a good move for him. He had a decent season with us, but I think it makes sense for him to move. And then we've brought in a straight swap. Ryan comes in, and this guy is looking like the real deal. You know, he takes the number 10 of Da Silva. He was with Vasco da Gama, then went and joined São Paulo. He spent 7 years with Inter Milan, and now he returns to São Paulo, where he formerly was former Brazilian international with 4 caps and 31 years of age. Lots of experience, and looks like a very capable player. Let's get straight into it. The first game of the day in the semi-final, all to play for against ATG at the Morumbis. So the team for this game against ATG, Ryan doesn't make it, he can't be registered in time. We've got Mateus in goal, backline of Carioca, Valejas, Wallace, Sargent Tim. We've got Golden, Bell, Fernando in the middle, Rolfo on the left, McCormick on the right, Tony up top. And look at these numbers, by the way. Tony on 13 goals, Rolfo on 12 goals, Fernando 13 goals, McCormick 16 goals. Very impressive stuff from them. Kick-off here in this game against ATG. We definitely learned the name of them, but I can't remember at this point. But there's a place in the final awaiting the winner of this game here, and hopefully it's us. You know, by next episode it should be a final in the Brazilian Cup, and it would make for a very good episode if we do get there, because the Brazilian Cup, it's a very repeatable trophy. You know, I feel like these domestic trophies we don't usually do too well in. The cups, I mean, to be fair, we did go on a streak when we were in Norway and Ukraine of like, I think it was like 12 or 13 years, maybe even 14. I think it reached. It was definitely at least 10 years, and I think all of them were across there was like 4 across Tromsø, and then 6 across the Ukraine as well. It might have been more in some areas, but that was a streak of going to semi-finals of these cups, which is quite impressive. Obviously it's not winning it every time, but we did win it quite a lot with both of those clubs, and I think if we can go and do something similar and start to do that now with the time we have remaining, and it could be a factor into whatever we do next, then it would be nice. And to top off with a nice win in the domestic trophy would always be good, but we don't do typically too good. We haven't done typically too good in this competition in the Pacific Pursuit, because it's just not been the thing we've prioritised really. Here's Tony though in behind, and he could book us a place in the final of the Brazilian Cup, and he puts it wide in the end. He's going to be doing a little bit better there really, but what can you do? But yeah, as I said, I don't think the focus has been on what we do in these cups, But if we can go and win it, why not? I guess we have nothing to focus on in particular at the moment, which is such a weird position to be in, as Carioca nods that ball in, and he might have just sent us on our way to the final of the Brazilian Cup. It's a lovely goal, simple as. Carioca, so known for doing those headers, and he makes it 1-0 here and 2-1 on aggregate. It's a weird position, the fact that we don't have anything to focus on. I guess we do, but like there's nothing in particular. I think what we're trying to do is win as much as possible, and so far it's going quite well. If we can win the biggest trophy of all once again in the Copa Libertadores, it doesn't even feel like it's the focus anymore because we've done it. But if we can win it again, that's an incredible achievement to defend such a prestigious trophy, you know what I mean? So we'll have to see. We will have to see what we can go on and do, but it's just a case of, you know, taking each game at a time in such a congested fixture list. And, you know, if we can pick up that extra trophy by the end, we never usually do too good in the Super Cups, but we might be there again next year. Who knows, but we've got the league as well, which isn't going too well. I think maybe the minimum I would want to get out of the league is to just qualify us for a Copa Libertadores. I mean, if we win the Copa Libertadores, we will get through to the Copa Libertadores, so it won't matter. I mean, the board are finally off our backs. We've got some big wins against teams who you saw. Santos, Fluminense was one of them, if I'm not mistaken, back here as well. Another one, so we've got some big wins there to kind of just calm it down and make sure that we don't have any problems anymore with the board. That is an interesting bit of goalkeeping from Mateus, and then the header goes in, and that means it means nothing really in the end for our opposition here. 45 minutes gone, we'll go and offer up our words of praise. 50 minutes in here, there's a big game there, Corinthians Fluminense. I don't know why it's showing us that. If we go to Brazil, is there any other games? No, we are just the single game here. We're probably going to look to make some changes now. There is a bit of a knock on that left side for Rodolfo. Rodrigo is out injured today, so I'm going to bring on Cusqueta, and then I'm also going to bring on Fernando into the middle there, Tony out wide, and then I'm going to bring on Bispo. Now, you might know Bispo, you might have seen him. It's an interesting one. I still think there's a bit of potential, and I don't know why I've, kind of neglected him a little bit, to be honest. His morale has always been quite high. He's never really complained. He's considered himself a breakthrough prospect, and I think now might be the time to go and bring him on. Maybe he can go and get himself a goal. I think there's appropriate times. I think that's the way I've kind of described it when I've been managing him. There's appropriate times to bring him on, and this is not the most appropriate time because we are only 1-0 ahead, but why not throw him into this situation? It's not the worst situation to be in. We are winning, but we might need another goal. Here he is. Bispo's in behind and he scores. That is absolutely incredible. It might be offside though. Is it offside? It's disallowed. How unlucky is that for Bispo? But you know what? I'm going to give him his time. I think we should have used some of these players a little bit more. I think we had a lot of depth in quite specific positions, but what can you do? Bispo will get his minutes now, and we'll see when there's appropriate situations, we will bring him in, and if he can make runs in behind like that, then there's no reason why we shouldn't. But yeah, he's still quite young, lots of potential. He's in a very, very good club as well at that age, so I guess he's not in the worst position. He's definitely not in the worst position. There's a chance here. There's another corner for us. 67 minutes gone here in this game. It's been a very standard performance for us, really. Very, very good. And now we have a game in the gap against Grêmio, and then we go against Talleres in that first leg. It's frustrating, really, that we can't show both legs. This is what happens when we're in so many competitions, and I guess the focus isn't on the Copa Libertadores, or else we would be showing both those games. But if we can beat them away from home, they obviously are a very capable team, but if we can beat them away from home, then why can't we go and beat them in a game at home, which will be the second leg? And surely you'd think we would go on to go through to the semi-final. There's a handball for Carioca. Apparently it's deliberate. I thought we were the defending team with the reaction from the ref. I don't know what happened there. Bispo's in behind here once again. He pulls it back to Castaneda into Tony while offside. I don't know what he's doing there, but if it does count, then surely we're through to the semi-final. It doesn't count. It's them ones where it's disallowed straight away. That's one of them. And it's got to be a little bit better from Tony. I think he's had a little bit of an unfortunate game, maybe a bit of lapse in concentration really with that disallowed goal there, and then also that one chance he had when he was in behind. But he can have a chance to get an assist here. He plays the ball into the back post, but it's into the hands of the ATG goalkeeper, and they might look to turn it over. It's Santos who's the goalkeeper. I don't know why our whole team is playing in goal, maybe why we've only been able to get the one goal throughout this whole game. But Yeah, I think we just have to see how these next few games go coming up. I think there's a final on the cards here in the Brazilian Cup. This has been a very, very good game, I must say, and whoever we play in that final, should we get there, should hopefully make for a really, really good game, and we finally can pick our hands up on a trophy, which we haven't ticked off here in Brazil. And then the Copa Libertadores as well, if we can defend that. I mean, if we can go and do what we did in the Club World Cup, obviously Fluminense might have got to the final, but we got to the semi-final. Here's Quetta in behind for 3-1, and he's not able to convert. He hits the inside of the post. He's unhappy, he really wants to leave, and I don't know why, because we've never really kind of disrespected his playing time. I think he does get quite a lot of playing time, maybe not as much as some of the other players off those bench positions, but I still think he does get a lot, so I don't really understand it. But as I was saying, we take those games where we can. If we can do what we did though in the Club World Cup, no reason why we can't go and put in some very good performances in the Copa Libertadores, maybe even win it. And as it's going at the moment, I don't see why not. I mean, we've had only one knockout game against Olympia, who were a relatively straightforward game, which was a relatively straightforward set of games for us, but Talleres will give us a tough game. These teams who win the Copa Sudamericana and come up usually do quite well, and I think it will be a similar case with this team. We'll be playing against in this game against Talleres. The final few moments of this game, Sergeant Tim tries to find in behind. There's Lozano, that is a throwback of a name. What a player he was. But Tony's in behind here. Tony squares it. It's taking a deflection, and it's going to be a corner. We're going to have the chance to hopefully wrap up this game here. Quetta, where can he look to get this ball into? He might play to the back post, to the near post. Where will they go? Quetta, lovely ball in. It's a bit deep, and Carioca was not able to get to that, but it was a really good ball, to be fair. Carioca probably should have done a little bit more to try and get on the end of that. We're into the final few moments. This game has been, I don't think one goal does it justice, really. It's been a very, very eventful game, and I think we could have had a bit more out of it, but what can you do, really? It's been a very, very good display from us, and if this is how we turn up in the final, then I guess we can't complain. This would be a very, very a good team ready to go to try and win that final. Here's Galner, Carioca, Castaneda. Can he wrap up this game for us? He goes out to Sergeant Tim, and Sergeant Tim is advancing now. Can he look to play it in? He does, but it's into the first man, and it just feels like we're going around in circles a little bit here. The final few moments, and we're going to approach full time here, and it's as simple as that. The Carioca goal, the header, sends us through to the final of the Brazilian Cup. And the team for this game against Talleres, it was a 2-1 win in the gap, and I think we've had some pretty effective rests. Some players just didn't play and some were suspended, stuff like that. The team for this game starts with Mateus in goal, backhand of Carioca, Villejas, Wallace, Sergeant Tim, Bell, Gorner, Fernando in the middle, Rolfo on the left, McCormick on the right, and up top is Ryan. He got a goal in his debut, and hopefully he can get a few more. Kick-off here in this game against Talleres. It's an early red card. Luis Fernando is down, and it is a red card for Talleres here. That will favour us quite a lot. That is a pretty good start to the game. Away from home, it is always going to be a tough game. We come to Talleres, who are a Argentinian team. I didn't think that's where they had come from, but we do play against them today away from home. It is going to be a tough game, but that should hopefully help us out a little bit. We definitely need to go and kind of exploit that a little bit. Mateus, he's gone in. How has that gone in? Mateus has just been completely caught off his line there. He must have been dinked, and that is 1-0 for Talleres off the back of that red card. The tables have completely turned. It's not in our favour anymore, and that is 1-0 for Talleres here in this game. What has Mateus done there? A bit of a mistake at the back. Well, we can't fault the guy, maybe we can. Maybe he's just really good on penalties, and everything else he's just not very good at. Who knows? There's another chance here for Talleres. They're going to have a look what they can do from this free kick. I mean, if we lose this game, I guess the suspense is just there to see if we do win that second leg. I think we win the second leg at home, but it's just about what we do here, which is quite an important factor. If we can come away with a draw and then win that second leg, then it's sorted. If we lose this game, then it's a tricky position. I think we can still win this game. The red card in this second half, we're going to really go at this team, really try and go at their defense, try and make some early changes potentially. If it's not working with some of our attackers, we do have a lot of quality on the bench. But here's Bell on the ball. He goes out wide to Carioca, who's advancing. Can he look to play this ball in? He goes to Bell. Lovely ball into the middle. It falls to Fernando, who puts a header in, and Ryan can get him behind, but he's not able to. In the end, 40 minutes gone here in this game, just approaching half time. Will we get the goal that will make it 1-1 here, or will it be 1-0 to Talleres going into half time? Rodolfo, lovely ball to pick out Fernando there, but he trips up and he is dispossessed, and now all of a sudden Talleres continuing to advance. The shot from range, and that's in. Can you believe it? Talleres have just got 2 wonder goals really from absolutely nowhere. I think it's the same player twice. Yeah, it is. Gaetan has got both those goals for Talleres. That is it's remarkable really, and it's the same player assisting as well. We go into half time, it's 2-0 here to Talleres, and our place in the next round of the Copa Libertadores might just be in jeopardy. We're going to have a look. 50 minutes gone here in this game, and will we get the goal? Who knows? I mean, after the red card, Talleres have got themselves 2 goals, which is very impressive stuff from them really. We're going to make these changes nice and early. Rodolfo off. I'm going to bring Bispo onto that left side. Castaneda, or bring him into the kind of deep line playmaker role and see what he can do from midfield. A very good player to bring on at this stage of the game, but I guess the suspense is there now. If we go into this second leg behind, the suspense is there to see whether or not we make it, but at minimum by next episode it probably will be the final, and hopefully we are through to this semi-final. We will have to see. There's a header there, won by the Talleres player, but Wallace comes to claim. He goes to Carioca. Carioca can go out wide to Bispo. Bispo, lovely return ball. Just wants to get some football into him, It's an interesting ball over the top. Ryan could get on to the end of this. It falls out to McCormick. Can he square it? McCormick, where does he go? It's a loose ball to Castaneda with the short edge of the area. Lovely goal. And that is surely the goal to start the comeback here. Edge of the area, exactly the type of positions that Castaneda is supposed to be in, as he always is. And he's just a real good poacher, really just creates some good chances, just gets on this ball, and is a very, very quality player. He makes it 2-1 here in this game. Talleres, another shot from range. It was a drilled effort, and luckily it doesn't go in this time. 70 minutes gone here in this game. It's another bit of possession for Talleres. Can we go and win it back? Turn this ball over and see what we can do. It's Wallace with the header. Fernando out to Bispo. Bispo tries to play the ball over first time, just rushing a little bit there, but he needs to get his sharpness up, get a bit of football into his feet. He does well to win that back though, and Ryan is advancing. Ryan can have the shot, and he scores. Ryan with the goal to tie up this game here. It's a lovely finish, and he gets his second in as many games. It's 2-2 here from 2-0 down against this Argentinian opposition. We have pulled it back to a draw, and I don't think we're going to stop there. There's another goal in store for us in this game, surely, if we can continue with this pressure. 76 minutes gone. I think now is the time to introduce Tony into this game. Hadzik in at right back, Moreira in at left back. Get those full backs changed and see what we can do in these remaining 10 minutes. We've got to go all out for this goal if we can find it. There's a chance for Talleres. Maybe they get the goal. Wallace with a bit of a loose header, and that's a good header in the end from Villejas, I think it was. Bispo gives us a bit of a press, and now on that right side the ball has managed to find itself in behind. The player cuts in, it hits the underside of the crossbar and is not able to go in, and that will go out for a São Paulo throw in on this near side close to the corner. How is that not? What is Mateus got a hand onto that? I don't know what's happened there. I really don't. There's a ball into the middle here. The header goes in, and luckily it's over the bar. What a game it has been though. 2-2 here, all to play for in that second leg, but as I've said, I think we do get the win at home, and a place in the semi-final might just be in store. 90 minutes approaching here in this game. There's going to be 5 minutes of added time. I think it's a good result against a very good team. If we come away with a draw, probably should have done a little bit more against the 10 men of Talleres. They're continuing to attack here. They find themselves with the ball. Got to be careful here of any penalties. It hits the post and then deflects off is it Hadzik on that right side there. It probably will be. It's 2-2 here. What a game, what a few games we've had today. It's been very, very eventful. The final few moments of today's episode though, here is the corner for Teleres, going to be looked to play it in. Teleres with the corner, it's played short, and Villejas is going to have to do a little bit of defending there, and it's just going all the way around by the looks of it, trying to line up the shot from range potentially. That is surely offside. Can we get a flag? It is offside, and that will be the final moment of this game here. We'll have the free kick, the full-time whistle goes, and it's all to play for in that second leg. By tomorrow, hopefully we're in that semi-final. Who knows? So once again, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy that video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll leave you this little tune, and I'll see you again tomorrow for hopefully the Brazilian Cup final or a semi-final of the Copa Libertadores. Thank you, bye bye.